Gabon really resonated with us, as did this particular opportunity. It really positions the company to an offshore company, which plays to our strengths, but also the asset base really diversifies our portfolio.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Brian Reinsborough. He is the CEO of Reconnaissance Energy Africa. And Brian, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me back on your show.
Yeah, so you're in Gabon right now, which is significant because you've just made an acquisition of a property in Gabon. So let's start there. I know you've been talking about this area for quite some time, Brian, and it's finally come to fruition.
Yeah, no, thank you. We've been looking for a while where Recon should expand its footprint, and we did a expansion early this year into Angola on our MRU offsetting Namibia, which is really important. And we've looked at different countries, and Gabon really resonated with us, as did this particular opportunity. It really positions the company to an offshore company, which plays to our strengths, but also the asset base really diversifies our portfolio, giving us an option to deploy capital into lower risk appraisal, development, exploration upside. We like that aspect. We like the line of sight to near-term production.
And so, Brian, what is it specifically that you really liked about that particular area? You obviously talked about what it is for the company, but that area obviously is a growing area that's getting some support from government as well.
Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, Gabon has been a very welcoming government. They're looking for investment globally, and they want to see production grow in the country. So this one really resonated with us. We had a great experience with the Gabon government so far. But this asset in particular, we're in shallow water, we're not in deep water. So we're in sort of 50 to 200 meters of water depth. And the asset spread on this is really attractive. There's a field on there which has a fairly attractive oil column, which we hopefully expect to exploit and bring on. And we like that oil field because it's very close to infrastructure, around 10 kilometers away. So that means low cost, short cycle time, and early cash flow for the company. But also has a great exploration upside. And we think this exploration really complements what we're doing in Namibia. So we like the whole spread of this. We like the addition to our portfolio. We like to be able to allocate across the risk profile. And this one checks all those boxes for us.
And Brian, there had been work there in the past, so it's not you're going to an area that's not seen any work at all. There is some work that it's historical work, obviously, but as you mentioned, there's some upside for the discovery part of it. But there is a some work that has been there in the past, correct?
Oh, absolutely. The Gabon has been producing oil and gas for many decades, several decades actually. And in fact, it produces around 220,000 barrels of oil per day in the country. So it's a proven jurisdiction, proven oil basin, and people have drilled on this block before, but they drilled almost 30, 40 years ago in older seismic data. So the way I look at this is Gulf of Mexico 101. This is what the Gulf of Mexico looked like, 20 years ago. And what Recon plans to do is go in and take the existing 3D seismic data sets, reprocess them with the most current state-of-the-art processing techniques to really help image the plays better. And that's what this area is missing, and that's what we plan to do on this particular block.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously the opportunity for prospecting as well. 28 map prospects, according to the news release, on this particular area as well. So there's lots of room for potential expansion.
There is, and what our plan is to get all the data in-house and then initiate a state-of-the-art seismic reprocessing to help crystallize a lot of those leads and prospects. They're very visible on the existing data sets. But what I've found through our history is that when you reprocess things, you get better imaging and prospects get better defined. And we think there's a ton of running room here on multiple plays. Now, keep in mind we have almost three different play types we're going after. The field is what's called above salt or post salt, and that's very well imaged. And in fact, they have the well on it with 70 meters of net oil pay. There is a subsalt section, which is really kin to the Gulf of Mexico style plays. And then there's a pre-salt, which our partner BW Energy in Namibia has been very successful in that play in the southern part of Gabon. So we like the geographical spread and we like the geological spread.
And lastly, Brian, you mentioned that the company now really establishing itself as a West African operator. You've got lots of opportunity that's happening there. You've got some JV partners here as well. It's not that you're tackling this on by yourself. You've got some opportunity, but you will be the operator moving forward, correct?
Yes, that's correct. On the Gabon block, which is now named Ngulu, which is translated to the dialect means power. And we have a partner called Record Energy who really sourced the deal, who have a lot of experience in country. And we have 55% of the concession. So we like the spot we're in. We're going to go at this concession really aggressively to get great seismic, develop a drilling inventory, and prioritize it against our Namibia assets and drill the best prospects, and also bring on the field. We think the line of sight to production here is real. Based on the offset fields, we think the Loba field could produce up to about 20,000 BOEs per day based on offset fields. So it's a good position to be in, and we like the entry cost of this. Our commitment to the concession is fairly minimal over a
Mhm.
4-year period, so we have time to work it. But we like the aspect of being production on cash flow to help fund our growth in other parts of the company.
Well, Brian, thanks so much. Great to get an update from you. Congratulations on this acquisition. We look forward to following the story as it develops. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me back on.
All right. There's Brian Reinsborough, the CEO of Reconnaissance Energy Africa.